We'll start off first of all, just in regard, because we don't want to go with the boring questions like you're going to probably get for the next couple of months, or you probably had for the last couple of months. But what was it like filming Series 2?
Well, what was it like filming Series 2?
Was it easier? Put it that way.
I think it was harder for me because I was like 7 months pregnant and had to wear a massive fat suit to cover my bump. So it was just, by the end of the day, it was this horrible, sweaty piece of foam. It just stank everything
that
out.
was, well, it's hard for you. Yeah, I mean, being pregnant, it's quite difficult. But generally, I think it was a little bit harder, I found. I think we learnt more this second series. It's sort of, the first series was only in 3 weeks. And the second one was 5 weeks, so a bit more time. And I think that there was a few moments where we sort of was overthinking things and probably, you know, didn't stick to our instincts about stuff. But in the end, it was great. No, it was really good.
So when you were writing the second series, because part of me thinks it must have been easier because you've been through it and you've done it already, but then the second part of me thinks you had such a good reaction to the first series. Were you sort of like shitting yourself?
Well, yeah, a bit, because we spunked all our good storylines in the first series, so it's just like blew our load, and then we thought, what the fuck do we write about now?
Yeah, there wasn't really anything left over that went in. And there wasn't anything left over from the first series that went in, that we didn't use in the first series that went in the second one, really. We sort of started from scratch a little bit.
Do you have an actual writing process then? Or do you just sit and bounce ideas off each other and then go?
Well, we have an office in Siren in town. We try and get there early.
Yeah.
But then we
I'm
sort of
quite
leave.
lazy, so
we leave
I
early,
don't get
so
there. Yeah.
We work for like 2 hours a day.
We do. We have a cardboard tube in our office and a mouldy lemon, so we just end up playing baseball with it, don't we?
It's anything to not work.
Does not
basically.
work.
You're living the dream,
Yeah.
basically,
Well,
aren't you?
it's quite
Mouldy lemon. Yeah.
We do. It's quite difficult because we work, I guess, quite intensely for real short periods of time. But when you're trying to be funny, it's like it's draining, and you can only be funny for an hour a day.
Yeah.
But no, generally, I mean, we only had 5 months to do it, so it's a lot shorter. And that first series was like 28 years in the making, basically. All our sort of experiences in Siren Sister. But once we got going after the first sort of draft of the first episode, which was rubbish, I think it clicked and it came fairly easy. Once you're in the mode, it's great, and it's really fun to write.
I mean,
but
we're really lucky because we've got a great director and producer. Don't just direct and produce; they come down and like help us write storylines. So we just sort of all get in a room and say kind of what funny, trivial things have happened in Siren that week.
Yeah.
Maybe flick through the standard and just say, oh, look, a bloke's taken 8 years to grow a pineapple. Can we possibly make a storyline out of this? And then, other people ever say yay or nay.
Yeah. But I think in terms of writing, because we sort of improvise it and then just sort of like the dialogue, and then it's really hard to remember how it gets done.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you start with a plot or do you start with jokes and then work in?
Just funny moments, really. So, isn't it?
Well, the second series we were much more like, we tried to do it properly and storyboard ideas, and then, but they always change quite a lot when you start writing it. You realise stuff doesn't work, so it changes. But I guess each episode's different. It can start with a really stupid idea that we saw on on a YouTube video, and that becomes, we'd sort of develop that, and that becomes like an idea for a whole episode, or
a Facebook argument that we've seen.
Yeah, it changes.
So as brother and sister then, who has the upper hand? So who has the final, you think something's funny?
Definitely her.
Right, okay. So she's the boss.
Because I'm funnier than
Right,
her,
okay.
unfortunately. To you.
But then what happens when you have the inevitable fallout? Like every brother and sister, every sibling has a fallout or
we
an
ring
argument.
up our mum.
Yeah,
oh, right,
ring up
okay.
Mum. And then Mum will phone him up and say, you have to be nicer to your sister.
Mm-hmm. And then she'll ring you up, going, you have to be nicer to your brother.
But what we found out is she's been slagging us off behind our backs. The other one. We only just spoke about that the other day, didn't we? And found out that's what she's been doing. Absolute
I can't
cheat.
believe that of your mum. Your mum is so
She does.
sweet.
Well,
She's
she's
evil.
trying to keep the peace by, pretending that she's
on your side at the time.
when
then,
really
she's not on either side.
No, evil woman. No, we do argue, but the problem is, it's that thing of when you've got, when you've got deadlines and you can't afford not to talk to each other for a few days because
Mm.
work needs to be done. So you learn to. It's like, right, we've got to really let's sort this out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what we argue about.
Food.
Food, if we do, yeah. Lunch,
Lunch. Where to go for lunch?
but it will start petty.
Who's
and then
getting the coffees from Cafe Nero is a massive.
me all the time. You never pay.
No.